Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is William Hindman, and I'm your host. This is Just Force 911. We look at how our public officials do their job, or they just boot screw it up. Hey, guys, today our video comes from Institute for Justice. It's a video from them, so if you would, please go over there, check them out, subscribe to them, hit their like and share. They have 476,000 subscribers. See if you can help them out and get them up a little bit more. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to take a second here. Thank you guys so much for getting me to 3,700 subscribers. I appreciate that. I couldn't have done this without you guys. Flat couldn't. So, thank you. Now, that being said, our starting on YouTube was last year, July 27th. So July 27th on this year is our first year of being on YouTube. I would like to get to 5,000 subscribers if we can. That's 1,300 away. Don't know if we can do it, but let's give it a try, guys. See if you can get me there. Also, hit the like and share, the thumbs up, and leave me a comment. And I hope I'm going to be here because I'm getting into some really dicey stuff with the FBI and ICE bullying. And also, it was the sheriffs and the police and ATF in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I don't know where this is going. I know it's going downhill quickly. I'm going to try to stay in front of it if I can. I don't know how much longer I'll be on the air. There's just a lot of unknowns. I don't know. But I will be here as long as I can. So, that being said, let's get on with the video. And this is about affirmation, meaning, you know, the police officer swears to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, which is a total and complete lie because most cops don't know what the difference between the truth or their hands up their ass. You know, it's just, to them, it's, you know, because of the qualified immunity, it's all the same. And they don't care. You know, and, you know, whether you have affirmation, you know, it's a joke anymore. You know, cops can say whatever they want, get a warrant, come and arrest you in the middle of the night, and there's nothing you can do about it except sue them, but we're suing ourselves because it doesn't come out of these punks' pocket. You know, it needs to come out of their pension funds, and this shit will stop immediately because they don't want to give up their money, and they don't care if it's our money. But we have to pay for it. Anyway, let's get in the video, guys. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think.
When police get a warrant, they get free rein to enter your home in the middle of the night, handcuff you, and go through your most personal belongings. Chicago police left Anjanette Young handcuffed naked in her home while they served a warrant. That warrant was acquired based on bad information from a confidential informant. Anjanette isn't the only victim of sloppy police work that resulted in a warrant. To get the warrant against our clients in Atmore, Alabama, authorities didn't provide any source for some of the most important facts. And Houston detective Gerald Goins made up an informant to get a warrant that ended with an innocent couple shot in their home.
Shot and murdered, by the way. The sergeant that did all this, that was in charge of that one, he actually went to prison, which is where most of these thugs should be. You know, if you're going to break the law, even if you're in law enforcement, you need to go to prison. It's just that simple. You know, don't break the law, asshole. It's really simple. But it's amazing how judges and prosecutors all stick together like a den of thieves, you know. And there's even videos of officers who have told judges, who are you going to believe, me, the officer, or the video? Your eyes are lying to you. I'm not. Are you shitting me? How big are your balls to make a comment like that? Wow. Are you going to believe me or the video? Wow, that's amazing.
Today comes after a lengthy trial and close to 10 hours of deliberation for the jury in the punishment phase. You'll remember Goins was convicted on 2 counts of felony murder in the deaths of Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas. The 2 of them gunned down in that 2019 Harding Street raid. The raid based on a bogus search warrant Goins obtained with false information.
The Fourth Amendment says that warrants should not be issued unless they're supported by oath or affirmation.
And we're going to take the oath of lawbreakers, boys in blue. They lie, they steal, and they lie on the stand. They lie in their paperwork. Do you realize that is a federal offense when they fill out their paperwork and turn it in and it's signed by one of their higher-ups? That's a federal offense. It's a felony. But yet they get away with it because they're boys in blue. We don't want to interrupt their flow of operation. Yeah, whatever.
But today, police routinely tell judges what someone else told them. The legal term for this is hearsay. Courts started eroding this clause in the 1930s, a trend that culminated in a 1960 Supreme Court decision that washed it away. Now, IJ is asking a federal appeals court to plainly read the Fourth Amendment and require witnesses and informants to directly swear to courts. We are representing Michael Mendenhall, a Denver resident who was arrested and charged with a felony based on a warrant supported by bogus testimony.
It was 9:30 or 10 o'clock, it was dark outside, and I was just sitting here at the counter, and I heard some banging up against our double doors and some loud female voices and shrieking. And I also heard a man's voice that was elevated, that was raised. And I thought, what the hell is that? So I ran to the front door, and I had a bat right next to the door there. It was a bat that was signed by the athletes for the All-Star game here that was held in Denver. So I opened up the door, and I found a couple ladies quickly departing. And I said, what the hell is going on out here? And I said, just get the F off my porch. And the guy just started, really mouthing off and backing up at the time. And so it was a very, very quick encounter, a matter of seconds, 30, 40 seconds.
A short while later, the Denver police knocked at the door.
So they said that there had been an incident that had been reported. They wanted to come in and talk to me. And basically, they came in very short order, handcuffed me, and took me out to the cruiser.
Police used unreliable, secondhand testimony to get the warrant they used to search Michael's office and take his bat. Once they had the bat, they took Michael to jail, where he spent the night. 6 days later, the charges were dropped.
When they decided to not press charges, of course, I was greatly relieved.
Michael's lawsuit could be an important step back to the plain reading of the Constitution's warrant requirements.
Yeah, but the problem is that the lawsuit is going to be paid by us, the public. It needs to be paid by these cops that arrested him. Come out of their pension funds.
I think it's a problem when some random individual with very little credibility can make an accusation and, law enforcement acts on it. And, I am cuffed up and taken to jail, and, spend several hours in a very, very unpleasant, humiliating experience.
We are glad to have Anjanette Young's support for Michael's case. She knows what can happen when police cut corners. Your home is your castle, and the police shouldn't be able to play a game of telephone to get permission to search it.
All right, guys. So, hey, if you get a chance, go over to the Institute of Justice and make a donation to them, because they do an awesome job. I know Fire is another one that does nonprofit, what would it be? Legal services for those who have been unjustly arrested by police officials. But the Institute of Justice does a lot of work, and they do a lot of good work. So do me a favor, go over to them, donate to them, please, if you would. They are an awesome group. I just can't say enough about them. If you would, Make sure you leave me a comment. And remember, guys, always fail the police. Why? Because they're not your friends. Be safe, guys, and I'll talk to you on the next one.